Sam, does your blobfish character have a name?
Oh, that's great. Oh, his name is Dale. Yes. No, I know. His name is Dale. That is the official.
This is new lore. Right out the bat, we're hitting him with the new lore.
Where's that come from? Where's Dale
I'll
come
explain.
from?
Okay, so I'll explain. So on my 15th birthday, I got a giant blobfish plushie for my birthday, and I named him. Okay, there was two. There's one big one and one little one. I named the big one Dale, based off of Dale Earnhardt from that one Amp Lemon video, and the little one was just Dale Jr. So
from the Amp Lemon video, not from NASCAR.
No, this is from the Amp Lemon video. That's like the only reason anyone knows NASCAR, right?
That's true, dude. Every time I rewatch that video, like I have a bigger and bigger emotional reaction to it. Like the first time I was like, oh, that's a pretty good video. The second time I started to swell up a little, and then like last time I rewatched it, I like cried, bro.
There is no way.
The thing that makes it so emotionally connecting is that like it's not the fact that man died. Okay, that people die every day. It was the fact that everyone just continued honoring his legacy, and it was beautiful to see in that a compilation. But yeah, every time I rewatch it, I have like a bigger emotional connection to it. So it's such a good video.
To the 1,000 people that are watching this video, yes, Sournell's mascot name is Dale officially. And did you ever tell anyone that your white squid is Fred? I've always known that for years.
I've been saying it more often lately.
In the videos?
No, I think I posted a singular tweet.
Okay, so his name is Fred too. Anyways, we got a guest!
Yeah, we got another guest!
Hello.
Okay, so this is... why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, God. I go on the internet, on YouTube, most people would know me as Milkman Steve, although on basically everything else I've wiped that name. It's just kind of the brand that's stuck with the YouTube, the whole Plants vs. Zombies thing blew up, and they know me for that now, so I haven't changed
Bro,
it.
I actually relate so hard to having like an ass name, because like I've never been good with names. Terror just kind of... like the only reason my name is still Terror is because that's what I had when I blew up.
I'm stuck with it now. It's like I can't do anything.
Okay, so I guess we can talk about YouTube names. I'll go first. So for the first year of my channel back in 2017, it was just my real name, like just my full legal name. Had to change that really quick. I named it Captain Crunch for like a month. Then I did Kiwi. Okay, I was Kiwi Bird Productions when I first met Ian in 2020. It was alright, but then I went through my no, it's about to get even worse. I went through my meme phase, my little meme 5-second clip phase. So now my name was Funny Fart. Branding is important, right? It was Funny Fart for a literal year, actually a year.
Funny Fart goes so hard. Like I think it's funny because some of his most important formative videos, like his most popular video, was made when his name was still Funny Fart. So if you go to his 3 million view Slendytubbies video, it just says Funny Fart Presents.
It's so
and no one has any idea what that means.
No one knows the joke. Because when I changed my name, I was at, I think, 3,000 subscribers. It was February of 2022 when I changed it to Sournell. Great idea. And
there was an incredibly goofy period of time where, like, pretty much everyone in me and Sam's, like, friend group just continuously bullied Sam for changing his name. Which is really funny because in hindsight, Sournell is such a better name.
Yeah. No, they were demanding me. Change it back to Funny Fart. Change it back.
You're not funny anymore. What? Sournell? You're more like Toenail.
I think it's pretty funny in hindsight. Really, looking back, I wouldn't want to be known as that now, but I think that's a funny origin.
So, Milkman Steve, where did it come from? What is Milkman Steve? Why is he a milkman?
Okay. I also have a line of names that it went through as well. Back when it started, the channel in like 2014, when I recorded Black Ops 2 like gun game on my iPhone onto the TV, I was called Gaming is Gaming, and I thought that was heat.
Bro, that's such a good name. I can't wait. Dude, you're gonna pop up all over search.
I was like, dude, Gaming is Gaming. I was like, that's so smart. My 10-year-old self was like, I was cooking here. And then after that, I was like...
Imagine how funny it would be if you just made, like, vlogs or some shit.
Yeah. It was all terrible, like, COD zombies, but it was recorded with an iPhone. It was awful, because I didn't have Elgato. Fast forward in the future, I get an Elgato. I was like, we need a cooler name. I'm in like the 8th, 7th grade now. I say, all
You're a
right,
big boy now.
let's do it's. I think. Wait, I don't remember if it was. Yeah, I think it was first. It was It's Lit is what I changed it to, and it was like a fire logo, and the words like It's Lit in it, because lit was like the thing, and it was awful. It was horrendous. That lasted like a year or something.
Oh god.
And then there was another year where it was the word silver, but it was spelt wrong. It was SYLVER to be different, and it was a big
okay.
S logo, like a silver S. And I was like, this is heat. And then
Banging.
for a month, I changed it to golden with the same thing, but a Y instead of like gold
no.
DYN. And I was like, this is terrible. I need to change all of this. And I eventually played a game of Jackbox, where I made my name like 2% milk because I thought that was funny. And I was like, all right, yeah, 2% milk, that's a funny thing. So I named my channel 2% milk. And then I was like, if this ever blew up, my channel I would be like 2% milk, and I would keep getting comments or something about like, oh, where's the other 98%? Because everyone thought that was hilarious to tell to me every time I went on any game.
That's literally every T2er comment. It's like, where's T1er?
Yeah, it's just I was like, I don't want to deal with that, but I have the milk brand, so I just changed it and put my name in it. I was like, all right, I'll just be Milkman and then my name.
So how long were you Milkman Steve before the like PVZ video forced you to keep it forever?
It was probably, God, let me try to look.
Ooh.
It was probably like a year and a half or 2 years before, I would say. Probably a year and a half. And then I only got like the new sort of name I use on every like game I play, like probably 2 years ago or a year and a half ago or something. But yeah, it wasn't that long.
We got to go through my name history now. I feel left
It's
out.
the craziest,
Okay.
probably. It's got to be the craziest.
Honestly, no. Here's the thing. The cool thing is that Terror, like Steve just had like a bunch of random names.
Yeah.
And, like, sort of the same thing with Sam. My name sort of evolved over time, except for. Okay, so it all starts, obviously, default YouTube account just uses your name, so I changed that after 5 years.
Holy.
This is what happens when you start YouTube at 6, okay? You just
He was
don't-
already on the
I
grind, bro.
I wasn't smart enough to come up with branding. I didn't know how to change it.
You were not an entrepreneur at 6.
So when
you
I
fell
was
off,
like
bro.
when I was like 10 or 11, I decided to start doing YouTube quote unquote more seriously, but that I meant I'd upload. I didn't mean to make any good videos or anything.
Yeah.
That wouldn't come until like 2020. So it was like 2015. I made I changed my name to Ian the Zelda fan, I think. And then, but don't worry, that lasted like maybe 3 months, because YouTube had like a policy where you could only change your name like 3 times every 90 days, and I was really indecisive with like the capital letters, so I was stuck with it for months. Then I changed it to Ian the Pro 3 months later, because I was just the most professional guy.
Yeah.
And I just made videos about whatever, so it's not even like specifically a gaming thing. I'm just a professional at life, I guess. And then after Ian the Pro, eventually I dropped that because I started doing like horror short films. So I was watching like South Park, so I was like, you know what? There's Comedy Central, so I'm gonna be Horror Central. And that lasted about maybe 20 minutes. Then I changed it to Terror Central because it sounded way cooler.
That does sound familiar.
Then funnily enough, I was playing Fortnite with some random guy who's like a friend of a friend who I'd probably never talk to. I talked to him maybe 5 times after that and then never again. And while we were playing Fortnite, he obviously wouldn't say fucking Terror Central. And because he wasn't like a good friend of mine, he didn't use my first name. So he just kept saying Terror, and I was like, wow, that's way better than Terror Central. So I removed it. Then I started making meme videos, so I changed the spelling to be like the funny, sarcastic spelling with like 1 capital letter followed by 1 lowercase, followed by another capital, like, you know, that spelling. Then eventually I just changed it to just the way it is today.
There you have it.
Which, honestly, to be fair, I think I changed it to this version after I think I watched like it had to have been like a Sunny V2 or like another similar channel's video about Dream. They were saying like it was about the history of Dream, and they were like, Dream made his name like 5 letters long, but that's because it's, you know, it's short and concise, so people can look
more
it up
marketable.
So I decided, well, Terror is, you know, that's a short name, and then I also added the numbers so that I'd actually pop up.
That was a problem. I will agree.
The only issue was that some other guy, some kid from like 6 years ago, already got 100 subscribers and stole my link years before I could possibly get it.
He talked about that.
So now, so now for my and for my link, there's like, you know, I can't be Terror there. So what do? Do I do Terror Official? Well, I go back into the name history of Ian the Pro 626. I take the number, and now that's at the end of my link. So now I'm a Terror 626 on like Twitter and YouTube link.
But yeah, he talks about that to me all the time. And there's also
It's
this
so
other channel.
annoying.
No. There's also this other
Sometimes-
channel that you mentioned where it's this other guy that his name is Terror, and
Yeah.
his channel is he makes Goat Simulator videos,
That's
and he has
true.
like 3,000 subs.
Yeah, so I was
That's
when I was rebranding, I was scoping out the competition to see if I could get the name.
Yeah.
And yeah, the main guy was Terror, all capitals. He made Goat Simulator videos maybe 5 times a year. So I was like, okay. Which, it's pretty funny because for the most part, I never really thought of it again. Until like a year later, I made like a voodoo video. It got views. And then a random guy who is apparently like a fan of Terror, the other one, not me, showed up in the comments like, ooh, cringe old man, you stole your name from Terror. He had the exact same T3 for 5 years. It's like, okay.
Exposed.
Trying to prove. But yeah, that's the lore. That's the Terror lore.
So wait, so someone has the T3RR, the one, like they
They have no
that
videos. They have like a CS:GO banner.
They have a CS:GO banner.
They're from
found them.
like Brazil or something. And then here's the thing, right? On his links, he used, I'm not sure if he still has them, and even if they're not up anymore. He used to have an email and a Twitter.
Yeah.
So I thought, you know what? I have like 1,000, 2,000 subs. Maybe, you know, I'm starting to make money off of this thing. Maybe I could like reach out and see if I could pay him to change his thing so I can get it. So I reach out by email, never get a response. I reach out on Twitter, but it's a private Twitter account, so I had to try following him. He blocks me. And then I check back like 6 months later, and his Twitter's just gone. It's suspended.
Yeah, I just tried.
So it's now impossible to get in contact with this guy, and now my name is gone forever, and I just have to cry about it.
You should have spoken to him in Portuguese. That probably was it better.
That's true. Yeah, maybe if I put it through Google Translate.
You know, it's funny because even though his Twitter is gone, the link is still there, which implies in his about page, it implies that the channel is also no longer in use either. Like he forgot the password or something.
Yeah, no, there's no videos on it, so the guy just stole it.
It's just his now.
But anyways, so yeah, the reason why I'm still Terror today is because of the PVZ video blew up.
Ooh.
And coincidentally, I remember looking at every once in a while I'd check in and see how the video was doing, because it was like the one video that got views. And I also remember something that would frequently pop up in the recommended for a while was none other than Steve's video about the downfall of Plants vs. Zombies.
I've watched that video so many times. It was really good. I liked it.
I appreciate it.
But here's the thing. I'm not unique. I'm like literally every single one of your subscribers. I only watched that video and then I fucked off.
Yeah,
That was it.
that's
Yeah, well, to
so
be fair,
understandable.
Actually, I'm curious. I'm really curious to see, because I remember like when I first got that video and I recommended, I think you had like 7 or 8K already. So I was a little late to the party here. But then I also remember you gained a ton of subscribers, mainly from just that one video and the couple follow-ups. And I think a big reason for that was because of I think I rewatched it a few weeks ago, and you you reminded the audience to subscribe like 3 times.
Yeah.
I'm curious if you can go in the analytics and like exactly how many subscribers did you get just from that one video?
Just from the
Because
PG one?
Ian like theorizes it was like 90% of your audience for some reason. I'm not sure.
Probably not 90%, because there are other videos that he did. He did like the Angry Birds and the Cut the Rope ones, and those also blew up.
Yeah, it was probably a lot. Yeah, it is 40K.
Wait, hang on. How much is my most popular video with 3 million views? I think I only got like.
I think I got maybe 14 from my PVZ video. Actually, let me check.
In my Teletubby video, the 3 million one, I got 26K. That is wild. 40K on PVZ.
Yeah,
Okay,
I don't know how I got that ratio.
I gained 13.8 thousand from What Killed the Plants vs Zombies franchise.
That's
the
wild.
power. It's just the power of asking someone to subscribe.
I don't even remember
I guess
saying
they
it
just
that
forget.
much.
Well, I mean, clearly it worked. Clearly,
yes, I did something right.
Maybe I gotta tell people to subscribe to my videos. It's probably the genius strat.
Here's the thing: getting a lot of subscribers is a blessing, and it's also a curse here, because after Steve stopped doing the downfall videos, everyone sort of ignored him, and then eventually the subscribers started to like bleed out. And he was just hovering around like the 90K.
No.
Still is.
Ian, now it's time for the elephant in the room. It's time. Why haven't you got 100K yet? Exactly. Why did you just let that pass, huh?
What the heck?
What's going on?
Like, I remember when I was like super burnt out. It was like late 2021. I made the 30 great games video, and then I kind of just flopped over for 3 months. But the good news was that I had so much momentum going that I hit 100K like 2 weeks later, even without any other uploads. So I'm wondering, like, you're at a point where you had like 90K subs. What was stopping?
What happened?
Like, at that point, I'd be like more motivated than ever. You're 9/10 of the way there.
Okay, so the whole thing with the PVZ video originally is that was made in a time. It was just made out of passion in a time where I had, I think, 400 subs. So there was no like thought behind it. And then that video started doing well, so I was like, oh, well, let me try to like catch some of that momentum and do similar things. So I did like the downfall of Angry Birds or whatever, and then I did the downfall of Cut the Rope, and I think I only had like 4K subs or something when I dropped the Cut the Rope video, and then they all like started Ouroborosing each other and like feeding, and then they all grew and grew and grew, and I was like, oh, that's cool, but now I'm getting all these suggestions that are like about games I didn't care about. Like, I played Cut the Rope as a kid. I played Angry Birds as a kid. I played PVZ. I cared about those, and I wanted to talk about where they were. But now people were like, hey, downfall of Jetpack Joyride. I'm like, I didn't play that. Put me on the cross. I never played Jetpack Joyride.
I literally went through the exact same thing like a year later when I stole all of them.
Yeah, so I was getting all these suggestions. They're like, yeah, do more downfalls of like more mobile games. And I'm like, I never played these. I have no passion behind doing that. I don't want to do that. Let me try to transition people into like me just doing game reviews or stuff. So I started like doing other different types of videos.
Yeah, I think, what was it called? Like Game Perfection?
Yeah, I did like the video game perfection videos, which got like a decent bit of views on some of them. But it became clear after like the Cut the Rope video that every other video I was going to post, if it wasn't another downfall of a mobile game, it wasn't going to do well. And I just kind of accepted that. I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do videos that I want to do. I did end up doing
well, I mean, you did like Angry Birds news videos.
Yeah, I did do a bit of those, which were
I watched
funny.
Your 30-minute video about it's called The Greatest Plot Twist in Cinema History. I was like,
the
why
Paul Blart one?
Why did no one watch that? Excuse me?
That is my pride and joy. That is my favorite video I've ever created. If someone wanted to watch my channel and they wanted to watch one video, I would tell them that video. That is my favorite thing, and it has barely any views. And it is soul crushing.
That's like the highlight, bro. Like a 30-minute video essay. How can people not gobble it up?
Yeah.
Ian's theory when he was talking to me like a month ago is that every good video must blow up at some point. That's what he was on about.
Well, that hasn't been my philosophy since I put out the Mediums of Horror video. Like, that was my philosophy until I put out that video, because that's like a 30-minute deep dive analysis into the entire
How many views is it as it now? Hang
It's
on,
at
wait.
58k, so it's gotten 59 now. Okay, it's gotten like 3k since I rebranded, which is definitely something. Okay, it's doing better now, but yeah, it used to be called like the mediums of horror, why it scares us or something like that. And then no one cared. It's sitting at 60k now, next to a bunch of videos with like 300 or 400. So like literally no one cares. I think it's the worst performing video I've had in the last like 3 years of my channel. So that's when I realized, oh, the good video is only half the battle. You have to have like a good thumbnail and title and branding.
Yeah,
and
I went back and I changed
Branding
the
is
thumbnail and
always
title
important.
on the Pulp Art one recently, and I'm hoping, you know.
Yeah, has it been doing any better since? Like, is there a noticeable change? Or no?
There was like a little bump when the full channel was getting like more views because of the new videos that were doing well.
Yeah,
like there's
yeah.
that little bump, but nothing significant. I don't think
Oh!
like, the click rate has gone up any more or anything.
Yeah, I think. Oh, I remember. Hold on, I gotta send this. I'm gonna go into the memes of horror video because you could literally see the exact moment I changed the branding. Like, it's really funny because the click-through rate goes from like 1% up to like 5 because no one cared about this video, and then I made it really vague, and for some reason, all of a sudden, everyone started watching it. It's like really funny.
Minimalism is amazing when you
Yeah,
do it
look
right.
at this. Look at this. Okay, so let me send I'll send the graph here, because it's kind of genius. I can explain what every little bump was. Let me just open up.
We're about to go
Discord.
analytical in this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna like throw this on screen. Yeah, this is like, okay. So the beginning bump, I don't remember what the first little one is. The one in the middle was when I made a video about what YouTube Kids did to horror, and I directly referenced this video in the first 5 seconds. So that one that was for when another video blew up. But then you could see the newest one. That was when I rebranded it, and it literally doubled the like people, like twice as many people now want to click on it.
Yeah.
So like that, like it made me realize, oh, branding might be important, guys.
For sure.
Yeah.
But
And, The good news is that Milkman Steve is finally on track. His like second to last video got 400k. It's hearing that.
At this point in the timeline, all right. So Steve puts out his videos, and now I think I wanna talk about the time I stole all of them
Yeah.
and then got a bunch of views. Okay, so here's the lore, right? The year was 2020. Steve drops his video. Dane drops his PVZ3 review. I dropped my PVZ ripoffs video. Shy Guy Mask fucking benefited the most out of everyone in 2020. He made like a couple of challenge videos that got like 7 million views each.
Damn. I didn't see that.
Shy Guy Mask was like, he went crazy there because it's because of the PVZ3 demo. Everyone was talking about the series again, and because of that, videos about it just blew the fuck up, including Steve's video. But
7 million
then,
views,
like,
damn.
2 years passed since then, and I have, I can't even remember what I remember. I think the title was like, what ruined the PVZ franchise, was what it was in my notes. I was going down my video idea list, and I had a video, I go on vacation, I come back, and then like the first main video I do after getting back was I spend a week straight on the PVZ on the What Killed PVZ video. And I remember because I don't like stealing ideas from other people. I can
Yes,
say
you do.
I do as a joke, but I generally don't. And every time I do steal something, I go into the DMs and ask first, usually. And I think that's what I did with PVZ ripoff. Or not, with What Killed PVZ, right?
Yeah.
Steve, yeah. So I go in the DMs. I forgot exactly what I said, but I'm sure it was something like, hey, could I steal your video idea? And he was like, sure. So I was putting together like a thumbnail, and then I misremembered the title from my notes. So instead of what ruined the PVZ franchise, it was what killed the PVZ franchise. But then I thought to myself, oh, that's a lot more That's a lot more gripping. That's a lot more dramatic.
What killed it?
Yeah, what killed it? It's like a murder mystery. So I just kind of went with it, and that's sort of how I got inspired to make the like the stabbing format, which there are videos that came out since that have like 300k views that have used that thumbnail format. It's like my own less popular version of the losers creeps pedos thumbnail by
Does Milkman Steve know about that dilemma, the little thumbnail game where like you say creeps pedos losers in like some 50-minute like documentary video? You should watch Tom Dark.
I mean, I don't know about that, but there are videos about like this one guy, Jeff Compass, like a few years after that video came out, he made What Killed the Scribblenauts franchise, and it has like, you know, Warner Bros with a little knife and Maxwell. So like it's always super cool to see how the inspiration travels. But anyways, so I make What Killed PVZ. And then everyone on Earth watches it, and it gets a bajillion trillion views. So then, yeah, I do the same thing. I follow it up. I forgot if I asked permission to do Angry Birds, but I definitely know I asked permission for Cut the Rope, because I did base, like I tried, because you know when you research a video, what I usually do is I check other videos on it.
Yeah.
And the issue is that with PVZ there were several resources of info I could grab from, but I was generally just watching through the Steve videos thinking, okay, does he cook with any of these points? And if he does, how do I elaborate on this, or how do I change this up? And that was sort of the idea I went with. Then I watched the video about Cut the Rope, and Steve just kind of goes through his own experience. I'm like, oh, okay, time to do my own thing.
Yeah, I don't think that one went too far, because I actually don't even remember. I think I said Cut the Rope was like kind of chilling though. If I remember.
Yeah, well, I mean,
and then they dropped NFTs like 2 years later.
Yeah, that was kind of mad.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, if you actually go back and play the first Cut the Rope game, it's so much worse than it was when it came out, because they added like, I think there's like a monthly or like weekly subscription, which is anything with a weekly subscription is a scam. Like I was doing a video about the 7 deadly sins as mobile games to capitalize on the popular format. And for one of the games, as a joke, you know, like Kick the Buddy.
Yep.
It's like you beat up the little sack guy, and I thought, oh, wouldn't it be funny if I like did it and I filled it in as like Wrath, because you beat the guy up. So I hop on, I re-download the game for the first time in like, you know, 6 or 7 years at least. Probably closer to like 8 now. It's been a long time since I touched that game. I open it up and I'm immediately hit with like the game starts telling me, remember to get Kick the Buddy Plus. It's only like fucking $9 a week. And I'm like, wait, excuse me? You're paying like $300 a year, and it doesn't even remove all the ads. It removes the forced ads, but you can still watch the optional ones.
But you gotta
like,
kick
damn.
that buddy though. Like,
oh god, I need to kick
what would it, wait, I don't understand. What's the plus for it? Like, is it just more ways to kill a doll?
It removes,
a doll?
It gives you all the weapons or something.
they give you like flamethrowers and shit.
Yeah, it gives you probably gives you like a rocket launcher. It was such a bad like pitch too, because it's like, I'm paying $9 a week. This is like at least twice as expensive as Netflix for one game, and it doesn't even remove ads. If you want to remove ads, it's an extra $12.
That is
wait,
insane.
what now? What? I didn't hear about that one.
What did they do to this game?
I didn't hear about that one.
Then in the video, it became it became Wrath Incarnate, not just because you beat up a little guy, but instead because of just how miserably that game has gotten, bro. It treats free-to-play players awfully, especially for a mobile game. Like, damn. This is like Spotify level. Yeah, okay, you watched your one song, you listened to your one song, time to play 4 ads in a row.
Yeah, it feels like more of a trap to like get kids to click on it or something. Like ask their parents, and then they just keep charging
like
infinitely.
Mommy's credit card is already connected to the phone.
They're making millions
so they just
off
have
that
to hit
too.
the button, and then they pay $1 billion.
It's a smart scam. It's not chill though.
That's true. It's a very smart scam.
They're probably getting
the folks at
ton of money.
Playgendary. I'm pretty sure, according to some comments, I think Playgendary like bought out the original, like the rights to the game or whatever from the developers. So I think that's what's going on. The funny thing was, like, after I played the game for 5 minutes, I got an ad for Kick the Buddy 2. so clearly there, I can imagine it's probably just as bad. Like, God, mobile games suck, dude. I've been doing videos on them for like almost 5 years now.
Couldn't be me.
Actually probably more than that, because I think the first Call of Duty ripoffs was like 2019. So literally 5 years ago, and it was like February too. It was like early 2019. So I've just had to sit and watch and make videos about these games while the entire industry just keeps rotting in front of me. God, I hate mobile games, genuinely. Like, I've made a couple of videos talking about
what bothers me is how successful it is.
Yeah,
it works.
yeah.
It works.
Dude, I said it in the intro of the video, but mobile gaming is the fucking spittoon of the gaming industry. You get, like, EA, you get, like, Ubisoft, all the garbage AAA companies at their absolute worst, and then they spit all of those negative traits into the spittoon of the mobile game industry, and it gets even more successful on there.
It's so
And then
shit.
I say this in the video, and then a bunch of illiterate Splatoon fans thought I was talking about Splatoon for some reason. So I have like 5 comments on that video from Splatoon fans like, "Oh, how dare you say my game is bad?" It's like, I didn't talk about that.
Yeah, I think mobile games are like really big in like other countries, like not.
Yeah,
the
I know
US.
that.
Oh, do
I
you
know
want to
that
know something
PUBG
interesting?
And Angry Birds are super big in China.
Something super interesting. And I think it has to do with the mobile games. It has to. I've had this theory for a long time, because if you look at my data, my first demographic viewer base is the United States, which is obvious. But you'd think second place would be like United Kingdom, Canada, something else like English speaking. No, it's the Philippines. No, and it's India, Philippines, India, Indonesia, and I suspect that like that's where the places where like mobile games are really taking off and whatnot. That's what I've always suspected.
I know that I think Free Fire is what it's called, and that's really big in India.
Yeah.
And like there's I remember me and Sam we did like a second channel video where we looked at popular YouTube shorts. We looked up gaming, and one of the most popular gaming shorts, it had like 30 million views at the time. And it was literally like the worst Free Fire. It was like 2 FPS, and it was like the main menu. And it was by this guy Biru Gaming. It had fucking 30 million views, and it was so bad. Like, why would anyone watch that?
Yeah, they're huge there. I don't get it. It must be something with like everyone's got a phone. They don't got consoles. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe it's like I make a similar point in the video about like mobile ports. You know, you don't have the money to buy an Xbox or a PC, so you take mommy's phone and you play Angry Birds.
The apocalypse begins when the mobile games transfer into consoles and computers. Like you play like Twerk Race 3D on the PC.
Did you hear that? I think the EA CEO was talking about like the prospect of adding in-game advertisements in AAA
Yeah,
titles.
I did see that.
KOS, bro. I'm sorry.
Who's the
He
CEO?
also wanted to
Closer.
use AI and shit too.
Yeah. Talking about how AI would really, it would really make things great, guys. AI would really expand the opportunity. Like, here's the thing. It's just literally, like, does anyone here actually enjoy just getting into these really, really fucking massive, like, multi-100-hour-long, like, live service battle pass titles? Because I've only ever been into that with, like, Fortnite for a year. Then
I
haven't
couldn't
touched
answer
a
that.
single one since.
I couldn't answer that because I've never done it. Never in my life. I don't understand, like, that whole like genre of stuff.
Does people talking about how AI is going to really expand the possibilities, right? But then when you actually look at what your favorite games are, my favorite games are Bloons Tower Defense 6 and TF2. These are games that have like they don't have an unlimited amount of content, they don't have battle passes. They're just good games, and they're simple, and you could just hop on and enjoy them. And for some reason, every AAA company thinks that every game has to be Destiny. Every game has to be Fortnite, where it's it's free to play, guys, but you can also buy V-Bucks.
Yeah, I mean they make a ton of money if they do well though, and it is like the top. Like if you look at all the top most played games, it's all those.
It always really pisses me off when I see like a game with like $120 million budget, because you do realize they could be taking that money and just giving like $1 million to like really promising up and coming indie game people, like indie devs, and you could have 126 different like massive productions. Considering, you know, an indie studio can do a lot with $1 million. Just don't ask the Friday Night Funkin' guys. They don't ask them. Anyone else.
Is that game ever coming out? Is that
they actually released an update like a month ago.
No, it was crazy. Ian called me like in the middle of the night. I thought it was just some like crazy like this night we're gonna have it at like 3 a.m. I was like, what do you want? And no, the FNF update came out after like 2 years. No, I gotta see this now. Now, I have never played FNF, but I always call it the greatest game I've never played. I just love the art style so much, but it's so sad because like after May 2021, I couldn't talk about it no more because no one liked it. Because there's like
all the news about FNF is like, oh, this mod is made by a groomer. That's all the news you'd hear about FNF for like a solid 2 years. And then, so, you know, it makes it really awkward when you go up to your homie like, yo, this FNF mod is fire, and they're like, wait, isn't that the game with the better? Uh-oh.
Yeah, as someone who's like kind of outside of that scope, I don't care for rhythm games that much. I will say it ended up getting like a bad vibe. Like it's sort of like the thing where like Rick and Morty fans or like Undertale fans, where it's like you look at the community like, ooh, I don't. It got one of those after a while.
FNF was my first rhythm game. It got me into the stuff, and the main issue I had, like, even though actually, fun fact, I made a video called "Is FNF Overrated?" and I made it in March of 2021, like right before it hit the absolute highest mainstream peak it possibly could, and my conclusion was that it wasn't because it has infinite modded content.
You saved
and then
yourself.
It blew up to a bazillion. It blew up to a bazillion degrees, and everyone disagreed with me. It was great. But the issue was that even though it has infinite content through mods, the mods, you know, because they were made by a completely different group of people and potentially an unprofessional group who might have never done anything like this before, a lot of FNF mods fell into that trap of just sounding like ass and just not matching the aesthetic of the game. So that's what made the FNF update so big, because it refined a bunch of the menus. It pretty much doubled the song count of the game, because in the Kickstarter there was like a new game mode called Erect Difficulty. It's harder than hard.
Damn.
And then what it would be is like a remix of every single song. It's sort of like the B-sides mod that makes the game harder, except official and sounds better. And so it basically doubled the song count of the game, refined the menus and stuff, and most importantly, it captured the aesthetic that that the game's known for. It reminded me why I enjoyed the game in the first place.
Yeah, is it like, do they have any sort of thing on like when it's actually fully coming out?
I think on a live stream, one of the main developers was asked. I think they said that they were 60% done the main game content, which is better than I'd expect. Yeah. But the main game includes like only the first, I don't know how many, I think it was like 50 weeks, and then plus there's also additional ones after that, like an epilogue, which is another 10 weeks long.
I remember
whatever,
the Kickstarter just kept going up and up.
The Kickstarter went crazy. I was really disappointed that they didn't raise I think it was like $9 million for the PS1 port, because I thought that was like such a fire idea. But I did pledge like a good, I think, $60 when I got the soundtrack on CD.
Yeah, the music was bump. I did listen to the music on Spotify.
The music was fire. Yeah. It actually slapped. It captured that internet aesthetic so well.
Yeah, I wasn't a rhythm game guy, but I did enjoy the music. I didn't like to play it.
It's funny because even if you weren't a rhythm game guy, it was still possible to get into, because FNF was like really, really, really easy on the rhythm game scale. It had like really forgiving hit detection. You have like a 10 millisecond window to get the absolute most perfect note, when most games it's more like 5.
Yeah.
Even the like easy mode was literally like easy and normal mode were baby mode, and then hard mode was more like normal mode. Like, FNF was literally the perfect game to get people into rhythm games.
Yeah, and it could be back, so I'll be happy to see that. I also want to go on a completely 180-degree turn here. I want to talk about old YouTube videos. I think we talked about this in a previous podcast, but I say this because right now I'm looking at Milkman Steve's old videos. And the difference, here's the thing. Here's the thing. We all have something in common. We have hundreds of videos before our popular ones where we just recorded absolute slop, basically, and only like 100 people saw it.
I think that's
but
what
the
it
difference
means to be a true YouTuber. You gotta be in the mud for years. You gotta
but
be
the
like,
difference,
you gotta be in the trenches fighting it out.
The difference between me and Ian and Milkman Steve is that it's still all up. I can now, if I really wanted to, when Disguised Toast is alive in the final 6, which is an Among Us video.
Oh,
he made a lot of Among Us videos.
Yeah. Okay. So. The old video, that's actually not all of them. I will say there is a significant few that are privated.
Were there some that were so bad that they couldn't be seen in the
yes,
public eye?
there's some that are either so bad or like the shit me and my boys are saying. Like mostly my boys, not me, but like very old videos. And
real,
those are still private, but I have them because I don't have my very, very old stuff. I don't have, like, the old recording my TV videos, and I regret that. I actually had a
same!
Yeah.
I had 2017 videos that I made when I first started my channel, and they're all gone now. I have 2018 videos, but the first, like, 20 videos I made, which were the worst but also best, is now gone. And I regret that so much.
I knew from the beginning that I could delete any other video, but I would never delete the first video, and that's still public. You could still watch 6-year-old me mining a tree in Minecraft if you really want to.
It's going strong 11 years old.
Yeah, how many views does it have now? Like 30-something
like
thousand
30K,
now.
something like
that.
that.
People just keep going back and watching it, and I'm so happy that is my first video because it's such a goofy dynamic where half the comments are just talking about like it being my first video, another quarter talking about just how fucking old the video is, and then the other quarter are just talking about the video and how insane it is. Because the video itself is called How to Chop a Tree in Minecraft, but it's 2.5 minutes long. So what do I do for 2.5 minutes? Well, for some reason, for that time and that time only, I broke the tree in a very specific way while crafting a crafting table and sticks and an axe while chopping the tree. And I guess you're supposed to do that every time.
It took you so long to like figure out how to chop a tree yourself.
Why do I need to make a tutorial on that?
The oldest video I have is 2018, but I definitely had ones before that. But the early videos were like, the main thing was either I was making a meme or I would make videos with like my friends or like me going online on like Xbox party chats and finding randoms and like recording the funny moments, and then I would edit those. And so almost all of my videos like pre the PVZ thing blowing up are just funny compilations of like me and my friends playing games, and I just uploaded them as a way to like show my friends like, hey, here's all these funny things we did, here's like basically an archive of all of our funny moments on this game or something. That was the original idea.
Going a bit more on topic, what was the process of the PVZ video blowing up, right? Like what? Like you were probably used to maybe 100 views a video at best.
Yeah,
I know that's what I had. That's what Sam had, and then you put out this video. How did it do at first?
So
like,
here's a graph, if you want to look.
So
what is going on here?
So there was 6 months of
how long
nothing.
Was it dead?
It was 6 months of just straight nothing. And it was 6 months later, for some reason, it just blew up, and then all of my like more recent videos at that time started doing good, and I started getting like actual subs and actual viewers, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Let me try to like transition some of these, get some of these, see if they like.
That's kind of wild, because I think PVZ Robots actually did the same thing, but in a less just complete Like literally
extreme.
stairs,
This is extreme, bro.
No, that second spike I think is 100% when you uploaded your video is what that second spike is.
That's kind of fire. Wait, that's actually wild.
And that you can see that I think on like all of my downfall videos. There's like a second staircase, and I'm pretty sure that was your doing.
Yeah, here's the best place possible to talk about why plagiarism is good, actually. Okay, so, fun fact. Did you know that when someone steals your video, unless they directly steal it, right? Fun fact, if someone makes a video on the same topic as you, everyone benefits. People get so annoyed by... People get so annoyed by people stealing video ideas, but the thing is that when more people cover the same topic, a viewer is not going to avoid watching another video on the same topic 99% of the time. Usually it literally just gets shared in the recommended and you watch the other video. Then everything benefits. It's crazy.
It happens every time.
Wait, Sam, did you put in the Slundy Tubbies video?
So here's my graph. You can put it on screen right now. It was less extreme, but also worth noting is that it took me 10 months for it to blow up. So I made this thing that took 3 months to make on my 64 gigabyte iPad, and in the first 10 months it got 10k views, which by the way I was happy about because at the time I was at like 500 subs, so whatever, right? But here's the thing, I blew up. And it has been gradually increasing, but not a staircase where the flat lines are flat. Like, not gradually increasing whatsoever. It's just flat. Like, no complete staircases. Yeah. That's just my comparison to my most popular video. Ian, is yours like similar to this?
Wait, which one?
Your most popular video, which I think is the PVZ one, right?
PVZ. Hold on, I'll grab the graph.
Yeah.
Pretty much, my growth on that video was crazy because like it did really well for the first 3 days. I think it got like 300k, but then the week after that, it fucking exploded and went everywhere.
Jesus.
And then
Can't
since
control
then,
it?
it's just been growing slowly but steady.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just completely ramps up like that.
I think that's how most videos are. I've never seen a graph like that, but
no,
hey, it's at 3 million views or 2 million.
I don't get the graphs anymore. Like, I just don't understand. My most recent 2 videos.
You are the strangest anomaly on YouTube I've seen today.
Okay, this is the or the Marvel Rivals one. Look, what is it doing? Why did it do that? And then this is the.
I think. Actually, I could probably explain that. Okay, here's what's happening.
Okay, yeah.
So the first growth, how big did it get before that bigger one? Like what? Like where's
100k?
Yeah, how many views did it have at the little influx
Okay,
point?
at the
like
little.
Like at the end of the short growth,
it had
right
85k before the like.
Okay, here's what was happening. The algorithm was recommending the video. First, it was to your audience who probably did not watch it because that's just how it be sometimes. But then it started recommending to like a sample size. That's usually what it does. Then eventually it figures out that the sample size, like, it really appealed to them, so they decided to open the floodgates a little more and start showing it to everyone. And that's why it takes a little while for it to go up like that. That's why the PVZ video probably had the same thing happen. It took like a week. That's why the 7 Deadly Sins as mobile games video, which recently came out, that one hit its fastest growth like 3 days after the video came out. It just opened up to like a way bigger audience.
But this part is the part that this is like a little zoomed in of like the beginning part. So it like the first 4 hours it was like 1,000 views, and then it had like that jump to like 14k, which was crazy for me. And so I was like, oh my god, like it just jumped up. And then once it like started going up steady, I was like, all right, now it's about to pivot off, and then it just jumped again. And I was like, okay, I don't understand what's happening with it.
Yeah, that graph is such a little wobbly guy.
Yeah, and then
little wobbly man. I wouldn't trust him around anyone I know.
This is the newest video one, which pisses me off. What happened?
Let's take a look.
Why did it flatline?
It's another flatline. No.
Okay, I think what probably happened is...
Are you shadow banned?
No,
Like, are you
no, I don't think so.
blacklisted?
I think what happened was it was the exact opposite of the other one, where it recommended it to the test audience, but this time they just didn't vibe with it as much.
But that's the
So
thing,
they
is
just gave up.
it gave it to a bunch of people. So when the video came out, it like did the same similar like first little bump that the Marvel Rivals video did, where like it gives a ton of impressions, and the click-through rate was terrible. I was like, okay, I need to fix something. So I fixed up the thumbnail, fixed up the title, and I let it run again. And then as you see, it slowly started going up, and the click-through rate jumped up to 8.2%. I was like, oh, this is cracked.
Oh.
I'm cooking here. And then it goes to like 5%, and then all of a sudden they just stopped giving it to people. They just stopped giving all impressions. They stopped giving anything.
They just gave up.
I have never seen that, ever. Literally never.
Literally, the video...
Has that happened to my video?
It has average view duration 4 minutes. It's on average. 5% click-through rate overall. That's including the first day when it was like 2%.
Yeah, I mean, that's 5% is pretty good. It's about the average for the average video on my channel.
Like, it's great for my channel. I'm super happy with it. That's a 4 out of 10 right there. I'll take it. But I don't know why they killed it. Like, it seems like they gave it to the right audience, and they just
how big
it.
is the discrepancy between
it's
1 of
so
10 and 10 of 10?
it's
It has to be
so
like
bad.
insane. It has to be like a genuinely massive difference.
Top recent videos, first 6 to 8 hours. The top one is 337k. The one underneath that, 65k. The one below that, 9.5k. And then this one at 6.2.
Damn.
The bottom one is 1.3k.
Just the absolute widest possible margin.
Yeah.
I will be happy when you hit 100k. But
Dude,
until
this
then,
has
I am
to
gonna
be your year
rooting
now.
for you.
You've had like the first super big video in a pretty long time. This has to be this has to mean something. This has to be the beginning of the Steve.
Yeah.
Whatever the opposite of the downward spiral is, it's only up from here, bro.
I'll keep
You have
cooking.
Yeah, because I think at this point, right. I think the biggest thing, because I remember I looked at your channel once you had a couple videos doing well. I think the issue is just that you didn't have that many, you weren't putting out that many videos.
Yeah.
I remember you'd go like months without it, and then, it makes me sad, bro. Come on, you gotta.
This
you
is
gotta
the
get
era
them
where we discovered you, and I just need you to know that me and Ian have been rooting for you to get 100k for like at least
Bro,
half a year now.
how high was the sub count? I think it was like 94. And
It was so
then
close.
every time the number went down a little, I got sad. Part of me died.
We all got sad. But now it's back up. We're back.
I think one, I wasn't uploading a lot. I was in college, like doing a bunch of schoolwork, so I didn't have like a lot of free time. And then I also think now, especially with the new Marvel Rivals video, I finally feel like I've kind of gotten away slightly from like the PvZ thing. I've been shown that like,
you're now, especially since it's been so long since the PvZ one, now anyone in recent memory would probably know you from this video in comparison.
And I would much prefer people know me for like, oh, that guy does like reviews on recent games. And I think the Sea of Thieves one probably didn't do as well because of course Sea of Thieves isn't like super relevant right now. But I have plans to release like this big Final Fantasy VII one I'm working on. That's more for me personally. I don't know how that one's gonna do. It's gonna be like 2 hours long. It's gonna be rough. But that one's gonna be a big thing. That's more of a passion project that I'll be releasing. But I also plan to probably do another review on a relevant game whenever Multiverses comes out. Do a review of that. Probably another like short review like the last 2 videos have been. But I have plans right now. I'm gonna keep doing stuff, upload a bit more than never. But if it goes up again, it goes up again. If I lose passion again, I lose passion again. We'll see.
Yeah, I'm on your channel. I'm counting up. All right, you have done 6 videos in the past year, which actually that might be better than Danerade.
It's like
that
twice as less than me.
Dane's only had 3. He's had 3 in the
Wait,
last
actually?
12 months. It's because he
That's
made,
crazy.
It's
Wait,
because he
hang
made
on,
a
hang on,
3-hour-long PvZ video.
That one took up all of his time.
I remember he was in the DMs
3
talking to me about
hours,
that for like
bro.
a solid year.
I'm pretty sure I'm in that video too,
Yeah,
right?
he got you
I
to
forgot.
voice,
I got it.
I think now's probably a good time to get back on the PvZ discussion. I think it's really cool that When
I'm gonna get a drink.
when I started working on the PVZ when I started working on What Killed PVZ, I reach out to you and I get you to record a little joke in the intro, which is funny because I think from what I could tell, I was like the second person to do the video. I was the first plagiarist.
Yeah.
I was the first of my unoriginal kind. And what I did was because I had the open DMs, I just reach out and say, hey, can you record like a little one line for me? And then the joke itself was funny because it was a joke about being unoriginal, which has only aged better because there are like 12 of them now.
Yeah.
so
I'm somehow the catalyst of it all.
There's almost like a symbolic passing of the torch there, which I think is even cooler because then Dane got me in his big fat large video and he talked about everything. And it's such a good video, bro. All I need now is for one to overtake the PVZ video because I think Dane could have it at this point. He's done way more research into it than I could have ever.
That video was insane. What's also wild is that like fucking Dane was like the original inspiration for my PVZ video because I saw his video on PVZ 3 and I was like, oh my god, I haven't thought about Plants vs Zombies in so long. And I watched that full video, and then I watched his Angry Birds Epic video too, and I played through all of that.
I remember I watched his Angry Birds Epic video back in like mid 2020, before I even put out the PVZ video. I watched his Angry Birds Epic video. I was like, damn, what a cool guy. And now, all these years later, I've been talking to him more. I've been helping him out with wherever possible, and then we're going to VidCon in like a month.
Damn.
And I'll be meeting up with him. So it's crazy. Yeah, the only thing I don't like is that in the reception to the video, so many people were too busy focusing on like the 5-minute long section about the community rather than the other 3 hour the other 2.5 hours. Like there's so many big things. Like I'm not surprised because I remember in the DMs with Dane, the thing he talked about the most was about the drama section about the community. He talked about certain things. He sent me a couple paragraphs, and I think what ended up happening was Dane talked about the community section so much that I thought that would be like half the video. Turns out it was like a 15-minute time slot in like a 3-hour long video, and that was it. It's so good in so many other ways that it's funny that all the discourse around it is around this one section 22 and 23.
Yeah.
And the worst part is that there's so many other takeaways you can get. I think the most visceral reaction I got towards the video, I personally felt, was when way earlier on in his PVZ2 section, he talks about the decline in the game's art direction and how Scaredy Shroom just looks so fucking bad. And then he loops it around like right by the end of the video and reveals that the reason why it looks so different is because they're working with a completely different art team outsourced from like India or something.
Yeah.
Like these are not the original company, and the only reason they're still doing this is because PVZ2 is the one thing PopCap does that's still profitable. Like that's really depressing. PVZ2 is a game that came out 10 fucking years ago in its earliest phase, and then its last update before the ones that made the game worse was in 2015. The game's like finished state is almost 10 years old now, and that's still just the one thing they have. It's depressing.
The franchise is really sad right now. I saw on Twitter that like apparently some group were trying to do like a PVZ like mod or something. They're trying to make a PVZ 3 game essentially, and then PopCap themselves like shut it down. You can't do that. You can't make a fan game. And I was like, are they even gonna release the game? Like, why are you shutting down this? Are you gonna make it?
PVZ 3 has been sitting in demo beta land for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, at least someone's gonna get something out. But yeah, no, it's just the modern state is really depressing right now because you can clearly tell that mistakes were made super early on, and then by the time the first beta comes out, they already spent probably most of their budget on getting the designs and the translating the art style, and then the entire fan base hated it. So they were like, oh shit, well, I guess we have to do something now. Then they had to completely rework everything, and at that point there was no longer enough budget for the scope of the game to be bigger, which is like the entire point of a sequel. You want to be bigger.
And it's just, I don't know where it is now. It's development hell.
My game theory is that PvZ3 is probably going to officially release in the next year, maybe the next 2 years at best, and then after that it's going to do really poorly and PopCap's going to get shut down.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
I think it's funny because EA is known for having its reputation of shutting down companies, but ironically enough, it's the one thing that's keeping PopCap alive at this point. And I think the only reason they haven't shut it down yet is because of that reputation they've garnered. They're keeping PopCap afloat because they don't want to be they don't want to be known as that. They're like, okay, please, PopCap, be the one exception to the rule. They're having hope in the PvZ series, and the issue is that it's not going to pay off, and that they're the life support. They're the IV bag, drip feeding PopCap with a little more money to get that game out, and then after that, it's over.
We'll have to see. I also had one funny thing about Dane, is that when I released my video, like I had watched him, I was subbed to him beforehand, and I remember it was like I think
it's funny because like Dane watches all these podcasts. He's definitely.
I never told him this, but
Hi, Dane.
I think put my video in one of his playlists or something by accident, because like I get shown that on YouTube.
I think you told me that in DMs at some point.
Yeah, so like I see that on YouTube if someone puts it in a playlist, and I was like, holy shit, he put my video in like his playlist by accident. I was like, that's awesome, but also he definitely didn't mean to do that. So I like went and DM'd him, and I was so fucking nervous. I like DM'd him because I was like, this is like one of the big YouTubers I actually watch. I was so nervous that I could like actually DM this guy, and so I was like, hey man, like you put it in this thing, just wanted to let you know, just in case. That I like put it away. I was like, all right, now we're done. And then he like came back, he was super nice. He's like, yeah, I just liked the video, didn't even realize. And I was like, yeah, it's so great. And I was like, all right, now I'm done. Like I could not, I was so nervous, I didn't want to like click the add friend button. Like we had a nice conversation, but I was like, I don't think I have the right to click add friend on Danerade. I was like, this guy's way bigger than me.
It's funny because like Dane's like one of the most down to earth people. He's super cool, man. I love that guy. But yeah, I think it's funny because VidCon kept sending me like email notifications saying like, remember to submit your meet and greet shit, and like it gives you a list of all the people doing meet and greets, and you could pick like the 15 creators you want to meet. I was gonna do it, and then I looked through the names, and I didn't watch any of them because they're super big mainstream YouTubers, and I usually don't. Like at this point, I've been watching YouTube for over 10 years. I've been the algorithm has been fine tuned to my interests. I just don't watch bigger creators. I have stuff that suits me better.
Yeah.
So the funny thing is like, at VidCon, I'm more excited to meet like the other people going there rather than the actual meet and greet people. Because the people on the meet and greet list, they're the kind of creators that like you'll recognize their name, and you'll know that they have like 1 million or even like 25 million subscribers, but you'll never you can never say what they actually do because you don't watch them. It's like Quebblecop. I didn't know what kind of videos Quebblecop made until I had to look into the AI.
Oh god.
It's like generic gameplay sloth.
Not good.
It's scary.
Like, no wonder
scary.
he likes AI so much. Jesus, his videos are garbage.
There's a whole section of YouTube like that I just avoid it. Like that guy, there's Jelly, there's like, it's all for kids and stuff. I just, not for me.
Yeah, I imagine I'd probably have a different take on it if I watched it when I was 6, but I was thinking watching Sky Does Minecraft and DanTDM. So.
Yeah, and then Sky Does Minecraft fell off hard, but
I mean,
rest in peace, my boy. But
yeah, man, might as well be dead.
Yeah, that was rough. But Dan's still going good. So, yeah.
That's true, Dan's still going strong.
Shout out DanTDM.
Hell yeah.
Or did he quit?
That man has a child now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I would not know.
Keeping up with it.
Yeah.
I actually never really watched him when I was 7. I watched like maybe a few of his videos. When I was 7, I used to watch like Markiplier and Yummy Mash play like Gmod horror map videos and
Oh,
FNAF.
actually, now that I
Yeah.
think about it, Sam, you should give your history with PvZ because it's very different from me and Steve's.
Dude, I literally like am just gamer. Okay, so I literally like, honest to God, swear to God on my life, I never even like heard of Plants vs Zombies up until I was like 12.
It's not that
And
bad.
what happened was it was 8th grade, and my friend was playing it on his little iPad in robotics class, and I was like, I want to play it. I want to play it. No, wait, no, actually, it's a lie. I got him into it. What happened was that Ian showed me it. That's how he showed me. We became friends. And he was like, I think this was like his super ultra mega alpha male PvZ phase where all he did was talk about PvZ. If it wasn't Among Us, it was just PvZ.
Oh,
It was
no.
just PvZ. So I was like, fine, I'll play it. I had to have been like, it was the spring of 2021. I would have been 13 then. And I got it. I played the game. And instead of doing robotics in school like I should have, I played the whole game. The whole thing. And somehow I passed that class. And my friends later came up to me like years later, like, dude, we really wanted to talk to you, but you were way too into PvZ. Like, you wouldn't talk to us at all.
That's so good.
I was hyper focused on the tower defense game that I just wanted to play it all day. So I finished it, never played PvZ 2, and that's it. That's literally
That's
it.
true. I'm pretty
Literally
sure. I think the only other piece of lore I can think of is that Steve was the first person who I ever followed on Twitter who followed me back.
Is
He's my
that
first
real?
mutual. I think so. Yeah, I had like 100 followers. or
Wow.
something. And I've been trying to like gatekeep girl boss gaslight Sam into joining Twitter so he can get the YouTube connections. All right, what do you have to say?
I'm not gonna. No, I don't even care, bro. Like,
no, you need to have community. It's like J-Reg video. You have to have community.
It's
but like, I'm not even gonna like. I'm not even gonna be a YouTuber,
No,
bro. Like,
you have to.
I'm gonna be like a.
Get $1 million.
I have to be.
It's like
I'm not even.
this reminds me of I think a joke I've heard about like parents trying to raise their kid to be a pro gamer. It's like you got to do that mouse mashing. You got to do the mouse click spam. Come on, no homework until after you crank your 90s.
it's real.
Was that real?
Yeah,
What?
no.
But like, I just don't. I want to do my own thing, right? I don't want to talk to big YouTubers. Like, literally, like, if I was 13, if I talked to Milkman Steve, I would have like screamed and eeked. But now I'm like, here's like, hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, no, I watched Foco all my 13-year-old life, all day. Like, every time he uploaded, I would watch it. And then, like 2 weeks ago, Ian invited me to the server, and I was just like, oh, hey, Foco, hi. I was not excited at all.
Damn.
Yeah.
He's just a completely normal
Sam needs
person.
I want that man to build up his connection game, okay? Because I love talking to other YouTubers. I think it's fun because there are so many things that if you talk to them with with a regular normal person who has a normal life, they don't get it. It's like I can't drop my graphs in the Discord chat with my friends from school because they don't know what I'm on about.
They
Yeah.
don't
They
get
don't
it.
understand that when the number goes up unexpectedly, it's very good, very good. My brain,
It's very
my
good,
brain
big
gets tickled,
success.
and I go tee.
It's definitely good as well for like getting inspired and wanting to keep making videos. Like if you surround yourself with other people who are also doing it. It's-
because
Yeah.
yeah, because then people like you have someone to bounce ideas off of. You share like ideas. That's why I never trust a guy who like makes YouTube videos that doesn't say like they claim they don't watch YouTube. It's like what? Where are you getting these video ideas from? Like, yeah, everyone has to get inspiration from somewhere. That's how the inspiration train works. You gotta watch a video.
That's how creation works in
You gotta,
general, yeah.
You gotta watch Danerade's PvZ video. Then you gotta make a PvZ video. Then some guy will steal that idea and get more popular than you.
That's
just
the
how it
cycle.
goes. So it just has to.
But everyone wins, you know.
Exactly. We all get to be millionaires.
It's not a fight.
Yeah. That's why you need to get on the video grind. Anyone watching this who isn't making videos, make videos, idiot. I'm gonna bully everyone watching into making videos so I can be inspired to make better videos.
Yeah, because then they'll boost us. Take all of my video ideas.
Yeah, please steal. Yeah, we need like at least 10 more What Killed PvZ. We don't know what happened. We still have no idea, guys.
They keep eating it up. Let me tell you, they love it.
If people keep watching, then people are gonna keep making. I remember even after Dane's video, I think there were like 2 other ones that got in my recommended since, and every time the Reddit goes wild, bro.
They love that shit.
Community, bro. The PvZ community loves those videos. Please keep making more.
It's the only action they've gotten, dude. EA doesn't do anything.
That's true. PopCap puts out a new demo and everyone hates it, so you might as well make more videos talking about why it's dead. All right, I think now's a good time to wrap it up. Although after this, we're gonna record for another half hour for like a bonus Patreon show we'll talk about God knows what, just really random shit. But I think what's the grand conclusion? What do we have to learn today, Mr. Stevenson?
Dude, we learned a lot. I don't been here for a minute. I can't even remember.
Plagiarism, good.
Yeah.